If you've ever felt helpless trying to score on taller or stronger defenders, you're not alone. But you're also not stuck. The truth is, undersized players actually have several built-in advantages. That's if you know how to use them. Today, I'll show you the blueprint that many undersized players can use to be effective in a game of tall people, which is basketball. What you'll be learning in this video is how to create angles bigger players struggle to defend, the footwork every smaller guard must master, how to finish without getting blocked, how to use pace, timing, and deception to neutralize bigger player size, and the 5 best scoring strategies versus shot blockers that every undersized guard needs to know. If you don't know me, my name is Kevin Melson. I was cut from my junior varsity high school team 2 times in a row, and that put me on a path to studying basketball. And through that studying, I was able to get a Division I scholarship and a 10-year professional basketball career, mostly in Europe. First, you need to create angles, not contact. If you try to go through bigger defenders, you lose. If you attack at angles, you win. Bigger defenders want you to come straight at them. That's where they're strongest. Your job is to shift the defender to create diagonal lanes they can't recover to. Some things you could do is attack their front foot, force them to open up their stance, jab one way, go the other. You want to shift them with pace, finish across their body. Stop attacking sides directly. Attack where they aren't. Use change of pace. If you're a smaller player, most likely you're a lot faster than a bigger player that may be guarding you. But speed alone doesn't beat bigger players, but pace and changes do. Bigger defenders struggle with sudden bursts, sudden slowdown, hesitation, rhythm shifts. You want to throw a bigger player off balance. If the bigger player can just run to one spot and jump up and contest your shot, that's what they will want to do. So you want to make them change pace, have to slow up, speed up, change from left to right, front and back. If you can make a bigger defender do this, you'll most likely be a lot quicker than them getting to those areas. When you control rhythm, you control a defender's steps. So if you're driving on the defender and you slow up and hesitate, the defender has to slow up and hesitate too. And once you start going again, it's a lot harder for a bigger defender to go, stop, and then go again. But it should be a lot easier for you to do. The same thing with side to side. If you can get a bigger guy going to your right and then you cross over and come back left, it's a lot harder for a bigger defender to be moving to the side and then stop and then come back the other way. Most likely you should be fast enough to beat them the other way. So beat bigger players with rhythm, not with recklessness. So you don't want to just drive as hard as you can to the basket and jump and hope for the best. Most likely you'll miss or get that shot blocked or severely altered by a bigger player. You want to use stop and starts, side to side. You want to use your rhythm or your dribble to get the bigger defender off balance. Next, you want to master the finishes every undersized guard needs. If you don't have these finishes, you'll have a tough time scoring around the basket if you're an undersized guard. The first finish is the 1-foot floater. And you want to use this when there's a late help from under the basket. Say you beat your man and the shot blocker is coming from the opposite block. You want to shoot the 1-foot floater before the defense gets there. You want to get the shot off quick. Next is a 2-foot floater. It's when you come in the lane, you jump stop to 2 feet, and it's sort of like a push shot floater. And you want to use this when it's already a big fella established in the lane. You want to come to a stop before the big fella is close enough to block your shot, and you're shooting a floater over the top. And playing off 2 feet is very advantageous for any basketball player. If you watch players like Jalen Brunson, when he gets in the lane, comes to a stop on 2 feet, you can use a lot of pivots, a lot of different shots around the basket to get your shot off. So playing off 2 feet is optimal, especially for a smaller player getting into the paint. Next is a reverse layup. And this is a layup where you use the rim as protection against a bigger player coming over to block your shot. So if you get to the rim and there's a big defender coming to block your shot, a reverse layup could be your best option for getting your shot off. And next is a power layup off 2 feet. And when you do this layup, you want to absorb contact. You know the big fella's going to jump, so you want to jump into him, absorb contact first, and then try to finish your shot. If you go through a big fella's chest, it's a lot harder for them to block a shot when they're in the air and you bump them, they're a little off balance. Or even if you bump them when they're on the ground, it can throw them off balance and they can't get up as high to try to block your shot. So a power layup off of 2 feet is also very effective for little guards, especially if you're a stocky guy. Jump stop to 2 feet. You can bump them before you go up for the layup, or even in the air, you can jump up and bump into him and try to finish after. That'll throw the big fella off balance and he won't be as effective at trying to block your shot. A few other ways that will help you finish around the basket is to show the ball early and move it late. So jump and show the ball here, and before you shoot it, you might move it over here, or jump, show the ball here, and move the ball late. So show the ball early, move it, and finish late. This can throw off a shot blocker very effectively. Using the rim to block off a defender is another good way to finish around the basket. And also, like I said earlier, jumping into somebody using contact, but under control before you finish can work very effectively as well. The more finishes you have, the less predictable you become. When you have several different ways where you can finish around the basket, bigger players don't know what to defend for. Next, use counters. Big players hate this. Bigger defenders recover slowly. Make them pay for it. Some good counters you can use in your game is an in and out dribble. So you step in one way, faking one way, in and out, come back the other way. A step back, that'll cause the bigger defender to have to lunge towards you. Then you can go past them. Spin moves are also very effective as well. When somebody cuts you off, a spin move is a great move you can do to finish at the basket. You don't need 20 different counters. You only need 2 or 3 counters, and that should be enough to counter any defense that the defender is throwing at you. Counter moves are great because it's a lot harder for bigger players to go one way and then stop and then come back the other way. This is why counters are so effective for smaller guards. And lastly, use your body. Don't avoid contact. Avoiding contact gets you blocked. Controlled contact gets you buckets. Body bumps to create space. This is something that you see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does a lot. He'll drive and he'll bump him with your shoulder. You don't want to extend your arm because the ref will call an offensive foul. But if you bump someone with your shoulder, that'll create space. That'll throw them off balance. Their momentum will be going backwards, and you can pull up for a shot without a contest. And like I said, this is something that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does extremely well. Jalen Brunson also does this. A lot of players in the NBA are using this strategy. And that's when you're driving at somebody and bump them with your shoulder and throw them off balance, and you can step back and shoot your jump shot. Or if they recover quick, you can cross over and go to the basket. Protect the ball with your body position. If the defender is over here, you want the ball away from them, where they have to reach across your body to get to the ball. And it'll be an obvious foul if they have to reach all the way across your body to touch the ball. So you don't want to position the ball where it's right in front of the defender. So when you're driving to the basket, make sure you have the ball in the outside hand away from the defender. Smaller guards like Jalen Brunson and Chris Paul, they aren't jumping over bigs. They're bumping them off their line. They're bumping into them, getting them off balance. So use that contact to create space for yourself as a smaller guard. Use contact as a tool, not a collision. Being smaller isn't a disadvantage. It's a different style of dominance. When you master angles, pace, finishes, counters, and control contact, you'll start scoring on bigger defenders consistently. So apply these techniques that you found out in this video today, and size will stop being a problem forever. For a full system of finishes, footwork, and IQ strategies, get your copy of my basketball book, Basketball Mastery, and it'll go into detail on all of those things. It'll be linked below. Now that you know how to beat bigger defenders, you might be wondering how to finish around the basket with even more consistency. Watch the next video right here. Combining these 2 skills will make you unstoppable. Thanks for watching this video. I'm Kevin Melson, and I'm out.